blonde bomber, Terry Bradshaw.
Would you compare him to Kevin White, Alex?
I wouldn't put that label on him because I do think he's better than Kevin. So, I mean, Ohio State receiver, you could essentially end the evaluation and the analysis there because that coaching and what they do with wide receivers at Ohio State is awesome.
I don't give a damn how young he is. We are not leaving out Patrick Mahomes. You're the young goat. The young goat. What's good, YouTube? What's good, people? Of course, we got another episode of the Good Hour, and let's bring up our people, Sean, and of course, TD. What's popping with you guys, fellas?
What's going on with you, bro?
I'm chilling. What about you, Sean?
I'm doing all right, we're ready to talk some more football again. Another week, another hour. Let's have a good one. But we've got to mention, though, before we get started, the football world lost a good man that was doing some good for football. Jim Irsay passed away at the age of 65. It's just too bad because, like, last year at the owners' meeting, he was, like, looking around and just realizing that he was the oldest guy in that room, longest tenured owner. He wasn't always the greatest guy in his life, but towards the end of his life, he was very charitable, looking out for people, doing a lot of good. So I think he was going to change the football world for a lot of good, knowing that he was in that power and steered it a different way. So it's just too bad the football world was robbed of that. I don't know what you guys think.
I don't know the owners like that, but you ain't gonna tell me it should be multiple people older than him in the room. He shouldn't be.
He was the longest tenured owner.
Oh, longest 10-year-old. I'm saying for his oldest, there should be a number of people older than him, right?
Last year,
Jerry looked like
there's other people that are older, but like he's the longest tenured NFL owner of a team. So like last year at the owners' meeting, he was looking around going, what the hell's he talking about? I've been here a lot longer than him. And he just kind of realized and started taking the bull by the horns, kind of how you say, and steering how he wanted it to go and what he thought they should focus on. And he was starting to get a lot of power. So it's just too bad because I think he would have done a lot of good for the NFL.
One thing I would say about Irsay, because I'm a Cowboy fan, and I like owners who beat to their own drum, and Irsay did that. He didn't give a damn what anybody said, and that's all you can do. And that, to me, is special. A lot of people doesn't agree with that. They like somebody to be correct on every single move that you make. I don't give a damn if you right on every single move. I haven't been right on every single move that I made. But if I beat to my own drum, I'm not a copycat. I'm trying to be innovative. That's respectful, and that's what Jim Irsay did. He had a lot of confrontations. I respect him in that situation. But yeah, it was sad, man. Do you know why he died, Sean? Is it heart problems or old age?
I read the article, and no one's really said yet. So I don't know if the family's ready to divulge what it was yet, because maybe they don't even know.
Right.
They might want an autopsy. It's pretty early, right? Like he just died today, I think, or maybe last night. But yeah, it's just too bad. What else we got? Oh, and the tush push stays, I guess, for another year at least. It passed by with just 2 votes, and they said that meeting got pretty heated at times. It had to separate people, so I can't wait to see some of those clips come out and eventually down the line.
Right. Like I was telling you earlier, I like the tush push. I'm not gonna get rid of the tush push just because somebody's being very successful at it. But like you said, you made a great counterpoint. You said, well, the defense can't push anybody. Well, allow the defense to be able to get behind the nose guard and push him too.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's what I think Green Bay altered what their proposal was at last minute, and they tried to make it that you couldn't push from behind.
Okay.
So that they were keeping the tush push there, but just eliminating that push behind from behind, and that's what passed still, but only by 2 votes. So it's like they took it out about 10 years ago that the defense couldn't push to stop, for player safety because it was getting too many knee injuries and that. Well, let's start reviewing this play now with pushing from behind. How many injuries is that causing? Because it's the same argument. Player safety is player safety, whether you're pushing from one side or the other. To me, it doesn't make a lick of difference.
Right. Right.
Like, and get me, like Jalen Hurts still bench press or squats 600 pounds or whatever the hell he squats, right? Like, he's still going to be the most successful guy at that play. It's
Right.
not really going to hurt. Maybe they'll go down 2% or something like that. They'll still be over 90% successful because of him. But you'll have other teams now, they won't even look at that play because they just they don't have the right quarterback there.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with it. I'm glad that they didn't rule against it. So I want the Eagles to keep using it. They got a little steam. Let's see how many Super Bowls they can run off with the tush push.
Yeah, well, the only way to stop it is not put them in that situation where they get to use it.
Right.
But there you go. That's the main thing. Keep them out of the red zone. But I can carry either way. It go, it come, it's whatever.
Yeah. And then a couple things here for fantasy. Bill Callahan was in the news stating that he was going to have going for more of a 50-50 true split between Spears and Pollard this year. What do you guys think of that?
I think I'm not going to be able to get Spears in best ball like I've been doing. Because I'm always a Spears. I bet on Spears more than I bet on Pollard. I'm not a Pollard fan at all. So,
well, I might have to trade you Spears. Hopefully, that's the league I got him in. I've been trying to trade him forever.
Now I didn't say I value him a bunch like I'm gonna pay for. It's kind of like TD. TD talk that big game with Likely. Oh, he go crazy. You go to trade him. Oh no, I can only give you this for him. I can only give you these pennies.
And I'm gonna tell you what's the opposite of that. Somebody read my book and know that I like to invest into computer stocks and then tries to sell me a stock for $1 million because they have a computer business. I'm not going to trade Likely just because you saw I made a video on him. Likely is a value right now. I lift them up higher than anybody. So I'm not going to pay for that price for Likely just because I think he's going to be great. Because really, he's really worth a 3rd round pick. That's why I was glad that Maximus said that. Nobody's high on Likely like I am. I'm high on Likely even if Mark Andrews stays there. I think Likely is one of the best tight ends in the NFL.
Everybody that got Likely on their team is high on Likely. And if you go give them a 3rd, they're not going to budge. A 3rd is this imaginary value that he is. Like, yes, 3rd equals, but what he's actually, what you have to pay for him, 3rd ain't moving the needle. That's not moving the needle. So, I mean,
what would you sell him for, Maximus?
Definitely not in a tight end premium league. Come on. Tight end premium of 3rd? Get out of here.
You don't know who I am. I offer you somebody. I offer you something for Likely. Not now. If you put my mind in it, yeah, you're gonna want a 1st because I'm high on them. See, that's what's going on here. Take me out of it. A random person offers you something for Likely. What are you getting rid of Likely for?
I probably would. I'm not that high on Likely like that.
Right.
So you sell him for a 3rd.
I'm not letting him go for a 3rd. He's not. He's that was disvaluing him. I mean, what if Andrews was actually moved? All of a sudden, he'll be worth a 1st in a tight end premium league if Andrews was moved. So that is not the equivalent to a 3rd round pick. It's just not.
Oh, I like Likely. So if he was on my team, I'd need a 2nd at least to get rid of him.
Well, that's what I'm saying. See, don't play them games, Sean. Don't play those games.
Don't like Likely. You said you don't like Likely.
No, but you said he worked a 3rd. That's what TV was saying. You said he's not worth no damn 3rd.
I think a 3rd is his value, but because I value him more than I believe in Likely.
The value is what's someone willing to sell you for. That's the value. The value is what someone's willing to sell him for. That is the value. That's the value. You can say what my house is worth to you. You can say whatever my house is worth to you. But guess what? I'm gonna give you this, and if I don't want it, then it's not. That ain't the value. That's your value. That's just your perceived value.
Are we talking vacuum or are we talking league specific here? Because vacuum is worth a 3rd, and then it goes league specific.
Any tight end premium league, he's not worth the 3rd. Now, if you're talking about a regular league that's not tight end premium, yes, I agree with you. He's worth the 3rd. But let me know.
I'm in a 32 team league contract, and Likely is my 3rd tight end.
Stop talking about this 32 league. That is nothing of the usual. We cannot compare that to nothing. Don't mention this 32-man league that nobody else is in. Only y'all 32 people in.
I turned down second rounds for him because I'm like, no, he's worth more than a second because those seconds are third and fourth round. So it's the same argument.
But that's at his top. See what, and I get it. What you saying, Terrence? You right. I'm gonna do the same way with certain players. I'm not high on them, but I know I can get a little bit of value for them. But again, this is what you're not seeing. Likely to me, I look at him. He's not worth a second because Mark Andrews is still on the team. Now, at his highest, yeah, he's a second or a first. But right now, his value by itself in a regular league is a third. And so right now, I could go to other people that don't know me, that don't know I do content. I could get a third, is my point. I could get a third out of it. Nobody would say, man, you offer me a third for Likely? Nobody would do that, right? That's my point with Likely. If I offered them a 6, they would say that, but not a third. That's all I'm trying to say. But I get it. I'm selling players at their high value too. Like, I'm not high on Jared Goff, but if I can get 3 firsts for him, I'm gonna do it.
Shit, give me 2 firsts for Jared Goff. He gone.
There you go. See what I'm saying? That's
give me a first and a second. He gone.
Right.
If I have 3 quarterbacks.
Right. But yeah, I know Maximus. I know you want to get on to the Mount Rushmore of the tight ends.
Oh, we don't need to rush to it.
Okay.
Like, you got more.
I didn't want me and Terrence to go on to turn this into an Isaiah Likely.
Oh wait, this will make the clip right here. This will make the shorts. We got to get it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I don't know. I'm still surprised Terrence thought that Shador would go to the 3rd round. There's no freaking way that was ever happening.
I mean, I'm be honest. I said I would grab him in the 3rd round. I was playing because I didn't even have a 3rd round pick. Whoever owned my team traded him to you, Sean. You got my 3rd round pick.
Oh yeah, that's my first pick in the draft because I traded my picks all the way. My first 4 picks are gone, and I got somebody else's 3rd and somebody else's 4th, and then I got my own 5th.
I probably would have drafted him if I had a 3rd round pick and he fell to me just because I knew you guys value him. So I would draft him.
Exactly.
And I tried to trade up for him since the 2.8 pick because I knew I wasn't going to be able to trade up for Cam Scabito and all that. But once Cam went, I'm like, I got to try to get up there now. I got to get in front of good and get this guy.
Right.
I don't know Shadors.
I
haven't seen Shador go in the 3rd round yet.
I don't think I'm going to be doing too much trading in the league. From the trades I've been getting, I think our value is not going to coincide.
What? Did somebody draft Shador? Y'all scaring me. Did somebody draft him?
Yeah, he drafted 208. What?
You're on the block. They drafted him right before you.
Who drafted?
Yeah, right before your pick.
Great cat.
Who?
Right before your pick. I said, they was looking at TD.
Who was it?
Shador.
No, who drafted him?
Straight cash. Whoever that is.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's all good. It's all good. You know what? My YouTube channel comes first. I had to do that 2 or 3 years ago, but I've never been able to get no value in none of my leagues because as soon as I do the video, you see what happened. What Terrence did to me. That's what happens.
Yep.
Every single time. That's why I was actually getting some trades done since I've been on this hiatus. I got a lot of trades done with Chuba Hubbard. It's gone now. I'm not going to be able to do any more trades with Chuba Hubbard.
Oh, no? Huh. Well, shall we start our tight end Mount Rushmores?
Yes, sir.
You want to go first?
Yes. Yep. This is good. I like the tight end Rushmore is like the most controversial one, I think. Yes, a lot of wide receivers, but the tight ends, I'm fascinated to see who y'all gonna have as your top 4 tight ends. I think this is gonna be crazy.
I guarantee you, I got one guy that nobody else in the world will have in their top. On their
You're probably right. I know you.
and he's my number 1 guy. Like, if I'm taking someone off the list, like, he's the safest guy because he tops the list of them all, and nobody else would have them up. Like, you want me to say it?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Jeremy Shockey. He is my all-time favorite tight end. He tops my Mount Rushmore. He would be in the George Washington position, and nobody would be touching him. I love this guy, man. Like, if he was in today's NFL, people would friggin' love him because he played harder than George Kittle and kind of the same sort of style.
Ooh.
And this guy, in his day when the Giants drafted him, and that's when the media was good with T.O. and, Chad Ochocinco and all that, and Clinton Portis in the media and that.
Right.
They're just showcases, right? And they had to play the Niners. I'm a Niners fan. And Shocky's going, I'm going to catch the ball, and then I'm going to look for Patrick Willis. And he goes, you know what I'm going to do? To the media, they're like, what? He goes, I'm going to run him over, score a touchdown, and spike the ball over his head. So what happens in the game? He catches the ball, and he's wide open. Nobody around him for 20 yards. He could easily run into the end zone. He sees Patrick Willis, like kind of on the 5-yard line in the middle of the hashtags, points at him, and goes, you, and runs straight at him. Both of them just running full tilt at each other. He runs over Patrick Willis into the end zone and spikes it. I'm like, oh my God, I fucking hate this play, but I love Jeremy Shockey, man. He's my number one guy.
Right.
Obviously, I should have did this. Then after him, obviously, I've got Tony Gonzalez.
Okay.
Can't dispute anything he did. He's probably the number one tight end. Anyway, if you could build a perfect tight end and take certain parts from everybody, you're probably taking every single part from Tony Gonzalez, and there's your perfect tight end of all time, right?
Right.
So you can't leave him off the list. And then I've got Rob Gronkowski. I love me some big Gronk. Loved watching him just power over guys. The way he played, the way he enjoyed football, just dominated the game. And he's going to be a first ballot, like probably, what's that? First time ballot Hall of Famer in there for sure after 5 years, because he's top 3 in most tight end categories. There's no way he's not going to be on it.
Okay.
And then there's not many people that I put on that are still playing, but George Kittle, again, just like Jeremy Shockey. I love his play style, love how he plays, love how he loves the game, and just enjoys the contact of the game too. It looks for it. Like, I love that, especially out of a tight end where that's what you're looking for that position. And George is still going to climb the numbers. He just signed a big contract, staying with Purdy, so he's going to be the number one target going forward. I expect him to have some big years, and if you can still get Kittle cheap in your fantasy leagues, I'd go and do it.
Right. Especially when Debo left. I was like, Kittle about to ball out if he can stay healthy.
Yeah, and they're shopping Ayuk.
Yeah,
So.
right.
Who do you guys got? Who wants to go?
You want to go, Terrence?
You went over all yours?
Yep. Jeremy Shockey
right.
was my number one guy.
Got it. So, I mean, I don't really put in an order, but I didn't really pay that much attention to tight ends like before Gronk and Jimmy Graham and all them. So my kind of list starts at Gronk. I used to love me some Gronk and used to love drafting him as early as possible in fantasy draft. And then I would also have Kelsey on there because Kelsey been balling out for a minute. And then I had to go back and look at some stats of different tight ends. And of course, I was like, oh, this Tony Gonzalez guy, I do faintly remember him. He's playing for a long time in this league. And his stats look nice. So of course I was
remember, did you watch the game of the Chiefs against the Patriots? I don't know if it was in the playoffs or for a playoff spot. And Bill Belichick on the goal line, like second and goal, triple teamed Tony Gonzalez on the line. So he knew right away he was getting. Tony looks over and goes, "What the hell, Bill?"
Yeah.
Like, that's how good Tony was, even at age 38, 39. Like, so he said, if you had to build a perfect tight end, it's probably Tony Gonzalez. Just my favorite to watch was Shockey.
And now there was one more guy who had a lot of stats, and he played long enough for me to use him for fantasy. So I did remember him, and that was Antonio Gates. So, I go went in and throw him on that as well. So that would be my top 4.
Okay. I mean, I can't argue with none of those guys. It just depends on what you're looking for. But my number one guy is the same guy that you said, Terrence, and it's Gronk. And the reason why Gronk to me is the best tight ends and it's easy, I'm talking about over anybody, it's because this guy, Gronk could have played left tackle if he wanted to. All he had to do was add about 30 more pounds and he would have been our top left tackle in the league. Guy was great at blocking. Me playing football, I like to be able to see people be able to do it all because you can't read my matchups. Like if I know if it's, and I'm going to give you a couple of my guys, but if you got Shannon Sharp, I'm putting Kyle Hamilton on the field. I'm putting Darren James on the field because I'm not worried about you blocking those guys. Gronk is on the field. I'm nervous. I don't know what the hell to do. I can't put no. If I put a big dude on him to stop the run game, he's going to run by him. If I put a small guy, he's going to drive him into the ground. So Gronk to me is the best tight end of all time. Second, I got to get to Shannon Sharp because he was the first tight end to be a hybrid, kind of like Isaiah Likely. This guy could be used as a wide receiver. He actually was a wide receiver, but he picked up 30 pounds and started playing tight end. So Shannon Sharp, I think he was, when he retired, he was the number one passing catching passes tight end in the game. So I got to give it to Shannon Sharp. He's kind of like what we call the GOAT. He was the first one to get hyper targeted and lead his team in like passing touchdowns as a tight end. A few guys did it back in the day, like Kellen Renslow. He was a good player. Ozzie Newsome. But the next guy is Tony Gonzalez. Tony Gonzalez, when he retired, he ended up beating Shannon Sharp's record. Tony Gonzalez is really good. As far as his pass catching ability, I can't say anything about it. He's one of the greatest route runners at the tight end position. I would say he's a better route runner than Gronk. He's probably the best route runner on my list, including Travis Kelce. He's probably a better route runner than Travis Kelce. So I got to give it to Tony Gonzalez. And he played basketball, and that seems to be the thing. If you are a tight end and you can play basketball, you're going to be good in football. So that's another thing. And last but not least, forward. Yeah, power forward or small forward or center. And last but not least is Travis Kelce. It was hard between Travis Kelce and Antonio Gates, but I went with Travis Kelce because of his rings, the pedigree. But Travis Kelce, to me, is the first great freelancing tight end. This guy can run any route that he wants to, and you got to give Andy Reid a lot of credit for the stats that Travis Kelce has, because no other coach would have let his ass run whatever route he want to run. They would have benched him. You think you're going to be able to run just because you good on Bill Belichick team? Ask no pun intended. I shouldn't mention Aaron Hernandez, but ask Gronk if you can run any route you want. No, you cannot. But Travis Kelce can come out and run a route to the right, and then he can see that he don't like that, and he'll run down the field. He'll do whatever he wants to do, and that makes it hard to stop. So I had to give Travis Kelce his flowers. He's going to finish as the number one pass catching tight end in the NFL history.
You think so?
Yeah.
He's still got a while to go.
How many what is his stats from
I got it right here. I've got it right here. Tony Gonzalez has 15,127 yards. Okay. Travis Kelce has 12,115 yards. So he's got to do at least 3 more years.
Right. That's true. What about
I think that Taylor Swift cuts that short.
Right.
You know what I mean? If she wasn't in the picture, I think he goes longer. But with her in the picture, there's no way. I think he's done after this year.
Yeah, he's done after this year. So he won't catch him. Damn. Tony Gonzalez did that? Damn.
If you say he's done after this year,
18 years, man.
Are we suggesting people to go get Noah Gray?
No. Bringstool. He was the who did he play for? Clemson, I think. Mm-hmm. He's 6'6". After the draft, Andy Reid personally called him to sign with the Chiefs because he's got a plan for him. So I think he wants to develop him this year, and next year Bringstool is going to be a big guy in tight end, and I think Noah Gray's role will stay the same as it is now.
Undrafted tight end.
Yeah, but Andy Reid personally called him. If Andy Reid didn't personally call him to talk him into coming, then it'd be a different story. So he's the name that I've been picking him up in a bunch of my leagues. I'm just going to stash him on my taxi squad and see what comes, because I do think Travis Kelce retires after this season.
Right. Yeah, I do agree with stashing him, but you know.
Guys, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to this channel. This is cutting edge content. This is the good hour that's going to be with you every Thursday at 6:30. So make sure you hit the like button and show support, guys. We have, let me see, we got 8 people in the chat right now on YouTube. So I at least want to see 8 likes in the far as on YouTube. So let's come on, guys, let's show support. Also, guys, we gotta go to the community tab. We're going to do a short mock draft. So go and click the link and sign up for the mock drafts. Also, I think Maximus also is going to put it in the chat for anybody that's not a member to also sign up to get on that too. So yeah, you might want to go ahead and do that. That way they already be there by the time we get there. We're not going to wait.
I could do it again, but I've done it.
Oh, you already did it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's at the top. I see it right there. Okay, my bad. Yeah, guys, make sure you click that link.
Yeah, pick your spot. We'll be doing that after we talk rookie wide receivers that we're targeting. So who wants to start that one out?
I'll start.
Go
Are we gonna
ahead,
go? Are we gonna
TD?
go all our wide receivers or do one at a time?
However we want, man. You want to go all at once or one at a time?
I speed through it. I go through my five guys. So, guys, let me give preference on what I think about 5 wide receivers. Guys, I don't think it's 5 wide receivers in this draft that's really going to make an impact on the NFL. Now, I could be wrong. It could be a Puka Nacua. It's always somebody out there that we never know. We don't see the talent, whatever. But it's only like 3 guys that I'm really targeting in the fantasy football draft and rookie draft this year. So I just want to give that context. But I had a couple guys that I like their spots, and they're going to get an opportunity. They just got to learn and adapt fast. They will have opportunity for targets, but I don't think they tremendous like far as their athletic ability or anything like that. I think this is one of the lower tier that we're going to see as far as wide receivers in the draft. But the first guy I'm going to talk about, and y'all know this is the guy that plays both sides of the ball, this Travis Hunter. That's easy, right? Now, they are saying that he is struggling in camp. But guys, running professional routes and then being a great athlete in college is 2 different things. If anybody can learn how to run routes within the next 2 months, it's Travis Hunter. This guy puts the work in. He's an academic All-American. He's very intelligent with the game. He studies the game all the time. So I feel great about Travis Hunter as the number 1 wide receiver. I'm still taking him as the number 1 wide receiver off the board, no matter what they saying about how he's doing in camp or his defense, how many snaps he's going to take on defense. The next guy I want to talk about, and this is kind of everybody's way off on me. Like, nobody believes in this guy like the way I believe, and I had to put him in my list. I couldn't just use him as a sleeper. It's Jimmy Horn. Now, you might say, well, why are you going to talk about Jimmy Horn? When I watch the game, he shows me a bit. He kind of reminds me of Josh Downs and could be even more explosive than Josh Downs. If you look at his ability as a combine, he was top 5 and top 10 in a lot of good categories. He got hurt at Colorado and missed like 5 or 6 games. If he didn't miss those 5 or 6 games, he probably would be a 3rd round pick. But I love Jimmy Horn. He's a phone booth player. And then when I say phone booth, that means that you can't guard this guy and give him either direction to go, because he's going to beat you almost every time. Julian Edelman wasn't better than Randy Moss, but you didn't want to give Julian Edelman 2 ways to go. He was better at Randy Moss, better at that than Randy Moss was. And I believe that's what Jimmy Horn can be, like a Julian Edelman type. All right, moving on. Ted McMillan. Guys, he's just 6'5", and he runs, and he's fast. So in this draft, if you 6'4", 6'3", and you can run good routes and, and catch the ball decent, you're going to be a top pick. So I like Ted. Take him, guys, as the number 2 wide receiver off the board. After Travis, I'm taking Ted if I want a wide receiver. I'm not a lot to say about Ted. I still think he needs to work on his being a true alpha. I don't know if he could be a true alpha where they're going to give you 10 to 12 targets a game. I think he has to learn that. Another guy I want to talk about is Kyle Williams. This is a guy that has great opportunity. This guy's going to have great opportunity because he's playing for New England. I'm waiting right now. Tell me who's the number 1 wide receiver in New England outside of Stephon Diggs with the knee injury.
Jalen Polk, because they're Boyette.
Right. It's up there. You can use plenty of room to fight for competition to get targets. There's plenty of room for that. So I'm good with Kyle Williams because of the opportunity that he's going to get with New England. And my next guy is going to be Jaden Higgins. And that's because Houston doesn't. I don't think Tank Dell's going to come back. Now, and he has a player like Nico Collins who has the same body structure and looks kind of similar when they play. So he can learn a lot from Nico, and they can use him. He's going to be able to catch a couple jump balls. He's athletic. He's just as athletic as Ted, but he's not as refined as Ted, been the number 1 as like Ted has. So I like Jaden Higgins. So those are my 5 guys that I believe that is a good wide receiver that you should be targeting if you're looking for a wide receiver in your rookie drafts.
Nice.
I like the Kyle Williams pick.
Yeah, he seems to be climbing up a lot of boards, going late 2nd round, typically. Used to be able to get him in the mid-3rd, beginning of the 4th, some rounds, but climbing up. You want to go, Terrence?
It's a rookie draft. I'm sorry, Sean. I just want to let him know. It's a rookie draft, bro.
Yeah, I'll go. And he made sure to let us know this time it's targets, wide receiver targets. So I decided to try to pick one in each round. So when my first one target is Travis Hunter. Like, I don't care where I can get him. If he, and I done seen, him fall to like as late as the 104. I'm happy if I can get me some Travis Hunter there. But I'm trying to get him on my team. I do believe in his talent. I really don't care what they're saying in the mini camp. I heard that Jamar Chase couldn't catch balls.
Right.
That's what I heard once upon a time.
Yeah. Now's
in
the time to struggle.
Yeah.
In the second round, I'm of course going after my guy, Trey Harris. This is my guy, and I seem to be higher on him than anyone else.
No,
go ahead, huh?
No, you're not the highest guy on it. A lot of people like Trey Harris. You're not.
I gotta be. I'm getting him in every draft. I must be higher than everybody. I gotta be higher
You're
than everybody.
Getting him right where he goes, though. Like where I saw you get him in this.
Be the highest guy.
Oh, he goes.
I'm even in the chats arguing with these league mates about Trey Harris.
What's the highest you've drafted him?
The 201.
Okay, I've seen him go 111.
I've never seen that. I
only seen him go in the round one once. I've seen him go 201 two times, but mostly he goes between that 202, 204 spot.
I get him from 201 to 208. It don't matter. I usually end up, it seems like I'm the only one that loves Trey Harris. But as far as I need the running backs to go in the first round for me to draft them. I don't like the tight end. So once all the running backs get off the board, then I'll draft them,
Right.
Unless I'm unless I got a team that's just a rebuild team. I don't want to draft any running backs on a rebuild team. That's not the route we're going. But
depends on the league too. If you're in a running back thirsty league, then you draft the running back and hope he pans out.
Right.
And double up on what you paid for in the next draft.
Right.
Sometimes you got to play those type of gambles.
So in round 3, I put 2 guys for round 3 because sometimes I get one of the guys late round 3 or early 4th. So the first guy I put is Jolin Noel. I love me some Jolin Noel, super athletic. I think he went to a good situation, even though you might not hear from him much this year because Christian Kirk is there. But we don't know if Tank Dell coming back. So Christian Kirk he might go ahead and take that slot spot and his wheels up. But I believe in his talent. A lot of people I respect hasn't endorsed him. Only thing he didn't get was, second round draft capital. I would have liked him to get, but I think he went to a good landing spot. Other guy in the third round that I like is Isaac Tesla. This is another guy that I felt went to a great landing spot. There's no one that believed he would get third round draft capital. Not only did he get third round draft capital, the Lions traded up to get him. So, and then he earned a few of my badges. So even though this guy is a developmental player, I believe he went to the right spot, and I think he can develop into something, even if it's not year one. And then in the 4th round, I've been taking Dante Thornton. So, and that's my 5.
Nice. Pretty damn close to my list.
and I feel some type of way that I had to express these guys in the middle of a rookie draft in your league. I don't like that.
Hey, you better get used to it. That's the world you live in now. All right, so I'll get going. So my number 1 guy, and he's my YR1 in this class. I'm taking him over Tet. I'm taking him over Travis Hunter, Emeka Egbuka. He was the 3rd wide receiver taken off the board by Tampa Bay at 119. Obviously, he's got Evans in front of him and Chris Godwin. Godwin hasn't been able to stay healthy. And even if both of them are on the field, Egbuka can go into the slot and play that because he can do the slot on the inside or he can go on the outside. and he's kind of a cross between JSN and Garrett Wilson, where he can work that outside and be just as good as JSN on the inside, so he can get some work right away. My next guy, and he's actually my number 2 guy in the draft, but I can get them each in one round because I kind of did like Terrence targets in each round. So in the second round, if I need a wide receiver, this is the guy I'm targeting is Jaden Higgins that went to the Texans. My comp for him is actually Nico Collins because they play very similar. So he's going to be learning from Nico, going to be learning how to be a professional, follow that sort of thing. He's got CJ Stroud there. And if Nico goes down for whatever reason, if that happens this season, Jaden Higgins might be YR1, have a couple of those types of weeks going on this year. So he's also a guy you can target in seasonal leagues outside of just Dynasty. My third guy is Trey Harris. He kind of goes in the same spot as Jaden Higgins, but depends if you miss out on one, get the other one. Trey Harris, he's a great guy. Kind of reminds me of Brandon Ayuk and his play style. He's speedy, runs crisp routes, gets open, and he's got Justin Herbert, who's an excellent quarterback, throwing to him. My only thing is cautioned with him is that the Chargers took him because every Jim Harbaugh offense is all run heavy and only supports one pass catcher, and everybody else is just kind of secondary off of that. So I don't know if Trey Harris will step into a role where you could start him fantasy in year 1 or even year 2 as long as Jim Harbaugh is there. But he does have the talent where maybe he'll rise above that, and they get in those games behind the Chiefs and they got to catch up. Obviously, he's going to be part of those games and can blow the tops off of it while Ladenburg's down underneath. So I like him a lot. My fourth guy, Dante Thornton Jr., been grabbing him a lot in the 4th round for the Raiders. 6'5", runs fast, could take the top off. It just feels like an Al Davis pick. You know what I mean? Like, let's get one of these speed guys, and I think he's going to be what they thought Claypool was, and be able to do that. And I actually like him more than Tet too. Like, I get Tet's big and probably runs a little bit better, like outside type of routes and better at contested catches.
Mm-hmm.
But Dante Thornton Jr.'s got that speed at that height where if he can learn to do some of those contested catches over guys and moss them, where he's going to have that speed to pull away from them, get quick touchdowns that way. And then my last guy is Isaac Tesla, is another one I'm targeting. Wasn't on him until after he got drafted by the Lions, and I looked into him, and I really like him. He reminds me a lot of Julian Edelman when he was returning the punts for the Patriots early in his career. But he's got that grit to him to work that inside of the middle, and he likes it. And he's a slot specialist. So now you can bring him in and move Ahmad St. Brown to the outside. So he'll get some work his rookie year. But again, he's a project, like Terrence said. It'll take time, but he's in the right system, the right way. They'll do it the right way. So I expect him year 2 or 3 to kind of step up because they'll probably move off of JMO with all the issues they've had with him once his rookie deal's up because they're shopping him.
I don't know, man. JMO might be one of the biggest players on that team. I don't think he's going to be better than Amon-Ra, but I think he's going to be a central part of this offense. If he doesn't get any more trouble, now if he gets in trouble, it doesn't matter. They're not going to sit there and let him keep being a distraction to the team. So I agree. But as far as his talent, if he locks in this year and doesn't get any trouble, I think he comes out of this year with a new deal.
Maybe, but they have been shopping him this offseason.
Right.
And then they go and draft this guy in the 3rd round and trade up for him. It's just there's a lot of writing on the wall, and it's going to be up to JMO what happens, right? So if he does go out, keep his nose clean, that is possible because football goes by the wind, right? It depends what the latest news is. If you're not bringing any heat, okay, we'll sign you. You've done what you needed to do. Here's your payday. And I'm sure they've told him that.
Right.
Like, Dan Campbell isn't the type of guy where he's going to do it behind closed doors. He probably sat him down and said, this is what I expect. If you can do that, keep your mouth shut, keep your nose clean, then we'll pay you at the end of the season. And if you get into trouble, we're going to let you walk. I think Dan would be that type of man, right?
I do too.
Sit him down, and this is exactly what's going to happen.
Yep.
What do you think, Terrence?
I think your lips look mighty close to mine. Good God. And but and I might not mention Jaden Higgins as much. The reason I don't, because I always have to choose between him or Trey Harris. That's the only reason I don't mention him as much, because I always have to make that choice. Rarely it's just Trey Harris come off the board and I get to get Jaden Higgins. That rarely ever happens. So, but I am a fan of Jaden Higgins. He did earn a number of my badges, so I do like him, and I like his situation that he landed in.
Yeah, you definitely either get Trey Harris or Jaden Higgins, unless you have 2 picks fairly close together early in the second round. It's the only way you're getting both.
Right. I'm not drafting any here. I'm not drafting any only wide receivers that I've been able to get to was Travis Hunter and Jimmy Horn. It's too many other players, especially in my leagues in IDP. I'd rather, before I start drafting some of these late round guys, I'd rather start getting top IDP players. That's just me in IDP. But in a regular 7-round league with no IDP, I can see myself getting some of these wide receivers, maybe 4th round.
Yeah, it's a pretty weak wide receiver class overall. And that's why a lot of guys got overdrafted, I think, too, in this class that probably shouldn't have.
Come on now.
Next year's class is good. Next year's quarterback class is supposed to be good, but who knows with this nil money too, right? Like that's changing things. It's even changing how rookie deals are done. Like Jaden Higgins, his rookie deal's fully guaranteed. He was the first one to do it, and now Cam Ward just got it too today. Yep. So that seems to be the new thing, right? Like why would I have come out then if you're not going to pay me my full money? Like I would have just stayed in college. Like,
right. But you probably could get more money on your deal if you don't make it all guaranteed. So maybe you could have had 60 million with 38 guaranteed. What did you get? 49?
Somewhere around that.
Yeah, so maybe he could have got 44 guaranteed with $60 million up in bonuses. So it's up to you. Some people don't care about bonuses. They want their money guaranteed. That feels better than having to work for the bonus and getting a little less guaranteed. So I get it. If I'm him, I'm going for the bonus if I feel like I'm him.
Oh, well, that's what Josh Jacobs did when he signed with Green Bay. It's all mostly bonuses and stuff. And look at him go, right? Like, that's if I was a freaking organization, every contract would be like that, right? It'd be like, here's the base minimum of what I think you're worth. Everything else is going to be on you, whether you do it or not. We'll have some type of injury guaranteed in there where if you get injured, you're guaranteed this much yards added towards the contract, right? Per each game missed. Like there's ways around it that you can do that would word it to a guy where injuries wouldn't scare him off. But you also have to be willing to do that as an ownership. Guarantee some money if a guy gets injured for some games, right? Because it could be a career ending.
Right. Only thing, quarterbacks, I know quarterbacks have ended their careers, but quarterbacks are a little bit different. I'm willing to bet on myself as a quarterback. But as a running back, I need guaranteed money. You can I'm not even talking to you until you say, Terry, we already got 12 million guaranteed for you. Okay, I'm gonna come talk to you then. How much else is for me to make? Because I'm not your body, man. I mean, Derrick Henry, man, he's an outlier. It's tough to make it 5 years in the NFL as a running back. So I think they need to redo the rookie deals for running backs. Running backs should be 2-year deals outside of the first round.
Yeah, I agree.
I never hear you talk about Derrick Henry. You feel like you would be a Derrick Henry guy. Like,
yeah, I love Derrick Henry with Lamar. Because when I see that, and this is a strategy that I've did a video on this. Guys, you know how many leagues that I want Lamar and Derrick Henry in? You know why? Because when they get to the red zone, I'm sitting around, woo, who's about to get this touchdown right here? Lamar or Derrick. I don't care how it comes, but it's coming.
Yeah, but on those days they get stuffed and they get goose egged. Those hurt those fantasy days.
True, but you know me, I play for the boom. Somebody on my offense is going to boom. So I give you an example. I'm taking Jameson Williams over what's a safe PPR guy? What's a good, really good, like Jacoby Myers. So Jacoby Myers that came off of, he had a good season 2 years ago. A lot of people would have took him over Jameson Williams because Jameson Williams will get 35 targets. I'm taking Jameson Williams. I want the upside because I've won a lot of fantasy weeks and championships I outscored the guy. The guy, his quarterback was better. His tight end was better. But my running back went for 45 and my other wide receiver went for 50. And I beat him because of that boom. I'd rather have boom on my team than have safe targets. Now, I do like PPR guys too. So don't get it twisted. But it just depends on my build of my team.
Yeah, I would have taken J-Mo over Myers easily. Like, I don't think those guys are close talent-wise. It's just J-Mo's a bit of a top
12 wide receiver. 2 years ago. Yeah, I think he was like top 14 or top 12, something. Wasn't he, Terrence?
But that was a surprise whenever he did have that good. It was more so of a surprise.
Yes.
Like Nobody ever bet on him in the beginning of the season. Like, yeah, I'm drafting Jacoby.
We knew he was gonna get target. Remember, they gave him a deal, and we knew that he was a PPR guy, like 8-9 catches.
Quarterback still was shaky. Quarterback
Huh?
still was shaky though.
Who?
I said the quarterback still was shaky. So
Yeah, it was. It was. But it was just an example of a PPR guy and a boom guy. I'd rather have a boom guy.
Yeah, it can burn you though. Like I hear about it every year from my buddy Chris. We were at a championship, and I forget who he took out, but he put in No Show Marino. That's what we started calling him, No Show Marino for the Broncos. Put him in, I think, over AP. I think it was, but because it was expecting a boom because of the matchup, and he ended up losing by 2 points.
Right.
What's that?
I'm not about benching your stars. I don't bench my superstars. I can't do that.
Me neither.
I can't remember who he benched. It wasn't AP because it came down to, it was that game where the Minnesota dome caved in because of the snow. And so the championship came down to Adrian Peterson versus LaShawn McCoy. And I ended up winning by just 2 points. But had he not put No Show Marino in, and whoever he had there at first, right before the matchup, if he would have kept him in, he would have won.
And this is a discussion I have with my homeboy, because I lost in the championship against one of my rivals by 3 points. I had a choice whether to start Justin Jefferson or it was like a mid-level guy. And I really wanted to bench Justin Jefferson, but I said, if I benched him, I'm gonna hurt if he go off on a bench. Like, it's gonna hurt me more. It's like I'm not gonna be able to recover. Like, I'm gonna be thinking about it years later, like the type of hurt. So I said, you know what? I'll go ahead and and Justin Jefferson gave me nothing because they put that trash quarterback, Justin Hall or something, trash quarterback they had. He ain't do nothing with him. Hall. Yeah. And I should have went with my first mind, but I didn't have the balls to
do it. You shouldn't have. No, I'm not sitting here and let you do that. You cannot sit back and wait till it happened and say, I should have did that.
But it was in my mind.
You went out with Justin Jefferson. I feel great about losing with Justin Jefferson. If you would have sent Justin Jefferson and the opposite would have happened, you might.
That's what he's saying.
How could you live with yourself?
But that's what I said. I would have been sick.
So you made the right decision.
I had to think about what could I live with. Could I live with losing with this mid-level guy, and I could have made the right decision, or do I deal? You know what I'm saying? So I just had to. And now I got to hear trash from the same guy every year, though. That's the problem with that.
Right. But ask I want you guys in the chat right now, flood the chat. Guys, what do I always tell y'all? Go down with your ship. And a lot of times they're like, TD, you're going to play Justin Jefferson, and they got the number one corner. They got Patrick Surtain on him, and the quarterback position is hurt. And I want to play Tyler Lockett. He's been getting 8 targets a game. Justin Jefferson. I'm not going to sit my stars. I don't give a damn if I lose. If I lose and I sit Justin Jefferson, I don't know what to say. I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I'm always playing you got to go down with your stars. You always got to do. I agree with that, Ivan. Appreciate you, brother. I see you in there. Yeah, you always got to go down with your stars. How do you perceive that, Maximus? What do you do? Are you gonna try to play the right guy with the targets, or are you just gonna play your star?
I don't tend to get too fancy. I'm playing my stars.
Yeah,
they get paid for a reason, right? Like,
right.
They're the ones that I built my team around, and if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. I'll shoot again next year, but those are the guys I'm going with. There might be like, if I'll play around with my later deeper rounds with the flex players if they're around the same sort of skill level, let's say.
Right.
And then I like to match up more on one guy. I'll go that sort of route, but not my stars.
Right. Not my star. Yeah, if a guy is if it's a matchup guy, no. And I'm also real quick. I'm like this: if a starting running back goes down and another guy comes into that role, bro, I'm probably gonna put him in as long as I'm not benching a star. I'm not gonna, because sometimes people go, well, he might not get the goal line talk, bro. If he's on a decent offense and he's starting, I'm gonna play him. Now, if it's a committee and we know most time it's gonna be a committee. But if a guy's gonna get the workload, I'm going with him. When Zach Charbonnet showed off the beginning of last year when Kenneth Walker went down, I didn't know what Charbonnet was going to do, but I knew I was going to start his ass.
Oh, I knew what the hell he was going to do.
Right. You can say that, but even if he would have played bad, you still would have been okay with it, though, right?
It's on the podcast, me telling Alex he was going to go off, and he was my start of the week.
Right.
That's what he does. And I don't know what the hell was going on last year, and I don't know why they didn't switch to Charbonnet, but every time Charbonnet played, he got 100 yards and 2 touchdowns, and Kenneth Walker couldn't do that when he was in the game. Like, are you not a smart enough coach to realize something's going on with this? It's not working with Kenneth in this system. Let's just pull back and put Charbonnet in there because it's going to be better for our offense. Or were you going for a better pick? Because like, we're fighting for a playoff spot right down to the end, so you didn't know what the hell you were doing.
Maybe they was trying to keep Walker value. Sometimes we don't understand that part of the game because if you bench him, nobody. It's just like if you break up with a girl, but like, man, I don't like her no more. People are like, what the hell? She's fine. Why you don't want to be with her? What's going on? You benching Kenneth Walker? He's an explosive running back. Why are you benching him? Now everybody wants to give you a 5th or a 6th. But if you start him, even though he might struggle, maybe you get the 4th.
Maybe, but then that's just not the greatness for the team, right? That's just playing stock market with players.
And that's what we
want to win a Super Bowl or do you not want to win a Super Bowl? And if you don't want to win a Super Bowl, get the fuck out. I want another coach.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, let's play the best players. And sometimes players just don't work in certain systems. So
facts.
That's what I'm saying is you should have sat Kenneth Walker just back a little bit while you figured that part out. Is it that he's not catching on to the system? Is he a little slow to learn it? Charbonnet just learned it quicker, and we got to catch him up. Then you do that coaching, and you catch up Kenneth Walker to where you want him to be, and then you give him that shot again in the game. I'm not saying bench him forever. I'm saying pull him back, figure it out.
Right. And you see it in the NBA a lot, too, more than the NBA than you do the NFL. It'd be a guy, we like, this guy ain't playing good, but they keep playing him because they're trying to shop him. They don't want anybody to think that they don't want him because once somebody know that you don't want something, and you see how Terrence did me with Isaiah Likely. Once somebody know you want something, look how they adjust to that. And if you don't want them, you can get them for the low. So you got to play the game. Sometimes you don't want to give your hand out too early because you're gonna get low ball. And I think that was the main reason that I think Kenneth Walker will be traded this year, guys. He's why would you have him on your team and you let Charbonnet beat him out and then he walks? You can at least get a 4th or a 5th round for him right now, maybe better. It just depends. So I think he will be traded this year.
Yeah, I think he goes to the Vikings.
Where? I mean, you let the draft go by. Well, I mean, where
Cowboys? Who knows?
The Vikings when Aaron Jones goes down.
Didn't they pay that boy some money, Mason? Didn't he pay him?
Yeah, your boy Maximus.
Oh, they didn't pay him crazy money. That they couldn't bring in Kenneth Walker on a rookie deal. Like, let's not forget where he is. They'd have to pay up later.
When the last time a running back got traded on a rookie deal, though? Now that I think about it, I don't see running backs getting traded like that on rookie deals.
No, they typically don't. So, but that's what he's saying. If you're not going to use them next year, you don't have no plans on signing them. Why not trade them for a 4th?
Right.
Because teams look at it totally different. All they look at is talent, more talent. Yeah, more. They don't care. Like, there ain't no logical thinking like we think in fantasy. It's like, oh, more. Come on now, we'll split the carries. More talent, keep y'all fresh.
Right.
Well, let's look at these
I
comments.
do my running backs in fantasy like a Rolodex. Who's on deck now? Who do I got on that team? What team are they on? Okay, we're putting them in the starting lineup. Like, I was throwing in Isaac Guerrero, Jordan Mason at times. Like, I just don't carry star running backs. There's very few that I invest in, and like that's Quaycon Jukins. I'm investing in him,
right? And
he's probably, well, frig, I can't remember the last guy I invested. Probably Nick Chubb, like this,
right? I'm gonna tell y'all a real quick story before we get on to the. Are we gonna do the comments or are we gonna do the draft first?
Well, we can do the comments first. There's still lots of spots left. So
So real quick story, guys. I've been taking Dylan Sampson in the 3rd round because I'm fading Crenshaw, or I'm trading that pick if Crenshaw should come there because I believe it's going to be a competition, and I don't want. That's the same thing Maximus said. I don't want to draft Crenshaw in the 1st round, and he not starting week 6 or 7. He's splitting carries, so I've been getting Sampson because it's the better value, and Sampson can also play. But I had a guy, man. I put a video out yesterday, and nobody's been taking Sampson in the 3rd round. Not where I've been picking, and all of a sudden, wait before I pick, just like it happened with Shadir Sanders a few minutes ago, a guy said, "Hey, TD, I'm sorry, man, but he's a good player." I said, "Bro, you watched my video, didn't you?" He wouldn't even say anything. This is my homeboy though. He beat to his own drum, but I'm like, man, So yeah, man.
Man, I
Same
haven't
thing
even
about
seen him
running
fall.
backs.
I haven't even seen him fall into the third, I don't think. But I see that different, right? Like Kevin
Okay.
Stefanski's there. What did Kevin Stefanski do with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt? Both of them were relevant
That's what
for
I'm
fantasy
saying.
every week.
That's what I'm
So,
saying. Yeah.
If you want to get the lesser guy, just Quaquan Jukins is my number one guy, right? Like
Right.
Sampson's not going to take it to the home run like Jukins can on a 90-yard run because he's freaking either powered you over or juked you out, right? Or
Right.
jumped over you. Like he's special. Where
Right.
Sampson's just a really, really good back.
That's something we might have to do a little friendly wager on. I bet you this.
Oh,
I'm not gonna bet you in opportunities because of draft capital, but I think Sampson, whatever you can think of fair, I think Sampson gonna be a better player in the NFL than Quinshawn. And I'm willing to bet that.
yeah.
No way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, when these rookie deals are up, they're only going to be able to keep one, and I don't think it's Sampson. I think he'll have to go somewhere else.
They might not keep him, but I think Sampson will end up going to a squad where he's like his stats will be better than Quinshawn. His career will be longer than Quinshawn. I think he'll be catching up passes, and I think he'll be a good back where he could be like a Chase Brown type. I'm not saying he's Chase Brown athletically, but I think he could be like a Chase Brown where people are like, well, is he big enough? And now Chase Brown has a nice role for Cincinnati. They let Joe Mixon go. So that's what I believe that Simpson, I think he's the better value.
Wide receivers to pay. They had wide receivers to pay.
Yeah, true.
Dumbest thing I've ever seen in football. Then they're going to let Trey Hendricks walk because he says he's not playing on the tag. So now you got nothing on your defense. Your rookie's refusing to sign the deal because there's no guaranteed for injury on rookie deals with Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. And they're the only team in all of football like that. So that's why he hasn't signed his deal because he's like, I want some injury guaranteed. Like I'm a first round pick. Like this is crazy. It's like, what the hell's going on? Well, the Bengals owner, he's like the Davis family with the Raiders, right? Mm-hmm. There's no other business. It's just the Bengals. That's the business.
Right.
So the only money he gets is from that league revenue sharing profit. And that's the only thing he gets. So that's the money he has to have and put aside in bank accounts to pay Chase and Higgins for that guaranteed portion. It's just,
he's cheap as hell, man. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, look, we're going to go through these comments, and then we got the rookie draft coming up, guys. The link is in the comment section. Sign up for the rookie draft. It's just 2 rounds. Let's see. Father 3, he says, heat it up. Salute, guys. Yes, sir, bro. I'm back in it. I told the guys I'm numb now to everything. I'm ready to go. I don't know. That's a troll. Kenny says the Niners don't need windows. We run through walls. I'll let Maximus answer that. He's the 49er expert.
Well, we do. That's why they're always hurt. And that's why you need the Rolodex of running backs there because you never know who's going down.
Right.
And that's the problem with Kyle Shanahan since he's got there. We've been top 5 most injured teams in football every year since he's been a coach. Because he makes them practice as hard as he makes them play. And when they don't go trying to run through a wall, they get benched. And that's why Ayuk was benched on his rookie year because he wasn't playing hard enough.
Right. And he went back to it after he got his deal. Doomsday says, huh?
And that's why they're shopping him.
I know. Doomsday Corner Sports says, what type of draft is this? This is it's gonna be a rookie draft, bro.
Yeah, Superflex rookie draft. 2 rounds, 1 minute on a pick. So it won't take long at all.
What's up, Aaron Holloway? What's up, bro? Big Will in the house. I say Big Will in the house. Watch your mouth. What's up, bro? Travis Looney says, what's up, bro? Been supporting me for a long time. He's one of the day ones. I think that's one of my first 100 subscribers. Big Will says, Kelsey for me, dude is savvy. His hands. He has hands. He can run every route on the tree and a winner. He can run all the routes. They might be improvised, but he can run them all.
He doesn't like running routes. He'd rather just
do his own thing.
Feel it with Mahomes and see where Mahomes needs him.
There you go. Okay, let me see the next one. He says Antonio Gates. He was undrafted free agent. He was one of the first guys playing basketball that you didn't play any college football.
One of the first guys.
Yeah. Shannon Sharp, 7th rounder. Yes, Shannon Sharp was great. changed positions, came off special teams. Shanahan. And Shanahan's, they are one of the best talent advisors in the late rounds, bro. They hit all the Shanahans have always hit on late round picks. I mean, you got Terrell Davis, you got Shannon Sharp, you got Brock Purdy. Come on now.
Like Mike told them to draft him.
Right.
That's come out now. Like he put it down the pipe and gave that to Brian Greasy to look at him. And that's why Brian Greasy was pounding the table, because he wanted it to seem natural in the room.
Right. As long as she doesn't dump his ass first. He talking about Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I don't know. She's getting near that age where she's gonna want kids, and if she dumps him, then that clock starts all over again.
Right. Michael says Gronk is not the best tight end in the NFL. I'd take Antonio Gates over him any day or any year. What do you think about that, Maximus? I asked you first, Maximus. What do you think about that?
Oh no, I'm taking Gronk.
Me
Gronk,
too.
like I want a tight end that can block, and all 4 of mine that were on Mount Rushmore, they're all blocking tight ends as well,
right,
as pass catching tight ends. And like I think Kittle's the best one of all of them. I'd put Gronk second.
Okay.
Because those two can go against like those defensive edge guys, and not only get them out of the way, throw them to the ground and go over them, and then get a pass. Like,
come on now.
Antonio Gates wasn't doing that. He could body guys out like nobody else could, and different sort of style of tight end than those guys.
He wasn't blocking nobody.
No, but that was his journey, right? Like he came in as a friggin' basketball player,
right.
for Christ's sake. No one knew if he was going to work out, and he became something amazing.
Yeah, once the game turned into 7-on-7, or you can make the game turn to a 7-on-7, like for Shannon Sharp and Antonio Gates, they can be great. But you ask them to block Myles Garrett, Gronk can do that. Kittle can do that. So that's the difference. Ebony Jackson says, laugh out loud, the Taylor effect. Jeff, what's up, bro? He says, great show. Michael says Gronk catch rate fell from 71% to 56% when he moved from the slot to the corner. Remember, Ramsey said he was overrated. Yeah, Ramsey can say a lot of stuff, but Gronk played for a long time, had a bunch of injuries where he got season-ending injuries and still came back to be above average at all times of his career. Even at Tampa Bay, he was still great. He still was great.
That first big injury he had, man, that season he would have had, like, I think he played 3 games. And what do you have, 190 yards each game and like 3 touchdowns, and then he had that season-ending injury. Like, he was not only coming out and having looking like he was going to have an all-time tight end career for a year, a receiver year. Like, I think he was going to like rival Jerry Rice numbers that year. But
yes.
And even he says it now. He's like, there was going to be no stopping me that year. He's like, in training camp, like nobody could guard me. They put 3 guys on me. I'd still get open. He's like, that was the most in the zone in football I've ever been. And he's like, and I got injured. We were robbed of something great.
Right.
That happens a lot now that I think about it. Because I remember the year I decided I'm not drafting any Derrick Henry. He started to go crazy. And I was like, I'm sweating now. I'm sweating. And then I think he got hurt after 6 games. I was like, man. I was like, this is looking rough because I ain't have no Derrick Henry anywhere. Right. But the year that I decided to invest heavily in Dak Prescott, when I say Dak Prescott was going crazy this year, he was balling out of his mind. He was going to end up being the quarterback 1.
Yeah.
And end up tearing his foot up. I'm like, God, it just happens, man.
Right. Crooked comment says, yo, what's good, guy? What's up, bro? Glad to see you here. Old baby says, I wouldn't recommend buying subs. More people should be watching with 3K subs. Bruh, you got the wrong one to say I bought. I raised this from the bottom off my phone with no editing videos. What happened, bruh? Haven't been posting a lot of videos through the week. We just been doing this show. So that's why the volume is a little bit low. But it will be picking back up. And I want that same comment to come back in when things pick back up. Thank you for being here, bro. Ivan says, what's good? What's good, bro? This is, hey, guys, go check his show out. You know him, Maximus. He used to be in there. You know him too, Terrence. He used to be in there with us on
yeah.
This is on what's the name of the platform? I can never remember the damn platform.
Clubhouse.
His name looked kind of familiar, but I don't remember.
Yeah, Ivan was in there. It was me, all of us, and Ivan and Regina. A couple other
Speaking
people.
of Regina, we'll be having her as a guest June 12th
Yeah, that's gonna be
on the
awesome.
show.
I can't wait to talk about Lamar Jackson and so we can team up on y'all, me and Regina.
I
like Lamar.
Jackson. That's my favorite player.
Right. I'm only looking for boom guys in my flex spot. Do y'all agree with that?
Why not?
Depends who you got on your team, I guess. Because if there's some spots where, like in some of your leagues, I've got more wide receivers than I got running backs. So I've got studs in those flex spots that are wide receivers.
Right.
I'm not pulling one of those out to go with the boom guy. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Sometimes I got Garrett Wilson, Keon Coleman, and like I don't even know who else. Like Debo Samuel in my flexes. Like I'm not pulling those guys out to go with some boom guy.
Right.
But there's other leagues where
I think he mean a different level boom guy. I think he mean at least the same tier. I think he's talking about the same tier boom guy. So it's like Amara or
I'll bench Keon Coleman ass.
Yeah, I'll bitch Keon Coleman too. He got to show me something this year. Got to ride or die with your stars. I agree 100% with that. Yeah, we did that one already. He says, lost my chip 2 years ago by 2 points with JJ getting locked up by Jari. No regrets despite having 3 guys on my bench who outscored JJ. Yeah, you can't worry about that. I would say I had a great season. I'm not benching no JJ just to get a couple points because of a situation or who's guarding. What's up, T Loney? Big Will said, okay, we did that one already. LA Real Gamer says, do you guys think drafting a quarterback in the first round like TD is strategic? Great question. That's what I'm on, guys. I think this. I'm gonna go ahead and claim this right now. Maybe 2 years, maybe less, could be more. You will be drafting quarterbacks in the first round in single quarterback leagues. The reason why.
Oh shit, we're doing that in mine already.
You doing that in yours already?
Oh yeah, for 10 years now. People have been drafting. Like I had to take Trevor Lawrence 1.03. Kyler Murray went 1.06, but it's 6 points per touchdown and -5 per interception.
Right.
So it really separates your good quarterbacks and your bad quarterbacks.
Right. And so leagues that's going to be, because you either way, if you can have a league where it's going to do negative for interceptions, it's still going to bring out the value of the quarterback. So what I'm saying is, when you got Lamar, Josh Allen, and maybe a couple other guys like Joe Burrow, and they all scoring 34 points a game, and then you got Kirk Cousins or you got these other guys scoring 22, it's too big of a gap. That's the biggest gap in fantasy. If you look at the top 5 RBs, and then look at the top 12 RBs, it's only like 3 points different. But when it comes to quarterbacks, it's like 8 to 9 points different that the top guys are doing. So Josh Allen is winning weeks by himself when he's scoring 55 points. And then the top 6 quarterbacks scored 23, 24. No. So I'm going to get Josh Allen and Lamar and or Jalen Hurts or somebody like that tier in every single draft. There are only a couple guys that I'm willing to wait on. And I'm going to let y'all know I'm going to do videos for that. That's going to be like Dak Prescott or Justin Herbert. Other than that, I'm getting the top guy. But go ahead, Terrence. What do you feel about drafting quarterbacks early in the first round in single quarterback?
I can't agree with that. I can't get on board with that.
Okay.
The earliest I can draft a quarterback in a one QB league, maybe late second. Like if I know I'm gonna be coming back around, like let's say I got the 11th pick or I got the 12th pick. Well, let's say maybe even the 10th. Maybe I got the 10th or 11th, and I don't want that person at the 12th spot to get that back-to-back pick and steal Josh Allen or something like that. And I might press it at the 210 or 211 to get Josh Allen because, it's only a few picks away. Well, I would have took him in the third because I usually draft a quarterback. If I really want a quarterback, I might draft him in the third round. But first round, whoa. There's a guy that made a living off of telling people to draft late round quarterback. I do believe there is a value quarterback in every draft. You just got to go find them.
There you go. Just got to find it. That ain't easy. Go find that Easter egg.
Now that's what just like you said, that's not easy. When you draft in a quarterback in the first round, you kind of start off behind the 8 ball. I know you're talking about the points, or whatever, but you kind of start behind the 8 ball because you gave someone else a chance. You get another position on at a premium price, and that means you got to kind of be right on all your picks. Now, if you a brother that's right on all your picks, you gonna be fine. And I didn't watch. I watched someone that's not good at fantasy pick Josh Allen the first round, and Josh Allen was carrying the shit out of her team.
I'm telling you.
It was Josh Allen was carrying the shit out of her team. Problem is she's not good in fantasy, so after a while, it caught up with her later on in the season. But Josh Allen was dragging that team to some wins at the beginning of the season. So if you hit on the other players, because you're gonna have to hit on the other players because running back run out fast, usually in one quarterback league. That will run real dry, real fast. So that's the only thing. I probably can get I tier my quarterback. So if I'm putting Allen, Lamar, Daniels together, or if you got Hurts in that same tier, so bam, if two quarterbacks go on board, then you go grab somebody off your tier if you're afraid you're not getting somebody in the tier. But I'm not just going after one first round. I can't do it.
And this also, guys. So I know y'all strategy a little bit. I might not do it in our leagues because I know that nobody else is doing it. But if I don't think I'm gonna get them, you see what happened with Shadur. I tried to do what y'all said do, and what happened? What somebody do? They took Shadur from me. You got to go get your guy. You got to go get it. I want Shadur. So that's the thing. If you wait, man, I don't want. Now listen, you can say, well, you can get Jackson Dore. I don't want Jackson Dore. I don't want Justin Herbert. I don't want Joe Burrow. I don't want nothing. I want Lamar. Josh Allen.
You should want Joe Burrow in your league.
Well, that's two different things. We talking. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You understand what I'm talking about. Joe Burrow is fine. I'm talking about. I want Lamar. Now, Josh, I do believe Joe Burrow is in that tier this year, and that's different. That's from year to year. Because last year I said fade Joe Burrow. And the year before I said fade Joe Burrow because I didn't know how the injuries and stuff was going to go. But this year I love Joe Burrow. But if you want Lamar, because if Lamar gonna be the number one quarterback, guys, it's worth it to get him. But Terrence is exactly right. If you cannot draft, you will lose. So you got to make sure you know what you're doing. You don't have to do that. That's not the only strategy, but that's an important strategy. And I can't wait to see what happens in the future if this is going to manifest or not.
Now I do agree with you. One thing. I tell you guys, man, fantasy is supposed to be fun. Go get your guys. You know, hey, don't not be so tight on just drafting them around the ADP. Shit, get them above ADP because you know what's the worst thing? When someone draft your guy right before.
Come on now.
Oh, it hurts. It hurts.
It all didn't happen to me. So, I'm about to hit up straight cash right now. Yeah, I ain't gonna say no. I'm hot. I'm hot. I'm hot about
so know your ADP so you can draft above ADP and make sure you get your guys. That's one thing I would let you guys know. Know the ADP of all the players. So if you got a guy you love, draft a round above. Make sure you claim that guy.
All right, last comment, guys, and then we got to hurry up and draft. So last comment, he says, when drafting in multiple leagues, would you guys try to draft the same players if they're your guys or mix the teams up due to how you drafted? Me, I'm trying to get my guys. I believe in myself that much.
Yeah, me too.
Same here.
All right, so let's get to the Maxim. You want to go ahead and take over?
Well, we still got 8 spots, so let's see here. How do I get that on there? Oh, there we go. So you want me to start it?
Let me see. Hey guys, go ahead and get into the draft. We got 8 people in here right now. If you want to get into the mock draft, just go ahead, click the link inside of the comment section. You can post it one more time if you want to, Maximus.
All right.
Guys, you got 1 minute. You got 1 minute to get in. After that, we're gonna go ahead and do it.
I will say off that last comment, like when I'm in tournaments, then I do different things. Like I'm just trying. If I'm in a large pool tournament, like basketball, underdog, I'm drafting different players, trying different things, But as far as in dynasty, where I know I'm gonna be keeping these players, and I know I evaluate rookies, I'm getting my guy. I'm gonna go down with my ship my way. I was having an argument about the guy about Loveland. Loveland is not one of my guys. I'm not a Loveland fan. So he was happy to get him where he fell, and he gonna fall every time if you're in the league with me because I'm not drafting him. That's not my guy. If I'm wrong on him, I'm wrong.
Right.
But the worst thing is if I draft somebody of someone else's value, I draft him on my team and he don't pan out. I got a trash player that I don't believe in. That's the worst.
That's a
All
good
right, I'm
clip.
starting the drafts, Terrence. You're on the clock.
All right. So, of course, if I have the one-on-one pick, and I don't know why it's not showing on my thing, but
Is
if I
this
have the
super
one,
flex, Maximus?
Yep.
Okay.
all right. So it is not letting me see this on my phone, but hopefully it picks Genty. So
I can
yeah, if
pick
I got
Genty.
the one-on-one pick, I'm picking Genty because I would first try to trade out if I got the one-on-one pick, though. Just know that. But
All
you
right,
got to
you
pick
picked
Genty.
GNT, and now we've got Don Padre. On
What's
the
up,
clock.
Padre?
Thanks for joining,
Hopefully
Padre.
he's still in here, bro.
This one here, if I was the second, I'd probably go Hampton. But I picked 3 so I could take my guy because it's the earliest that I would take my guy.
I'm going Cam Ward, even for trade value.
I've been
2?
going Hunter.
Yeah, I'm going. It just depends. If I lean a wide receiver, I'm probably going Hunter. But if it ain't no IDP, that makes me want to put Hunter back a little bit, and I'll put Cam above him with no IDP.
The leagues I drafted Cam 102, my team is bad. And people not valuing Cam Ward like that. Just know, you will hope he retain his value. Because people not loving on him like that.
All right, I'm taking my guy, Quayshawn Judkins.
Who y'all think I'm taking right here?
Well, it's going to be
Shador.
You know it. And this goes to the point that even though we disagree on Shador, but this goes to the point, go get your guy. Because it's got to be fun. And this is going to be fun to prove Terrence wrong when Shador balls out. It's going to be fun. And if he doesn't ball out, then I have to take the criticism. I'm going to be here with smiling, taking the criticism. But it's my guy. I'm not drafting no guy just because that's what everybody's saying I should draft, and then I don't even have. Then he don't hit. What you say, Terrence? What the hell?
Who do you want, Terrence? You're on the clock.
I want Dart. If I'm at the 201 and I know I'm a garbage team, I need to get a quarterback. This is Suplex League. Got to get it. I mean, otherwise I would get RJ Harvey if I just had this pick and my team wasn't trash.
Yeah, see, and this is why I have very little Trey Harris picks because this is the guy I'd rather. Jaden Higgins over him. See, even the computer took Harris at 2.7.
I told you I would take him at the 201, but if Dart go drop to me, if I got the 201, and I earned that 201, I can't. I'm taking Dart first.
This is tough.
Take Shador.
I did already.
You got Kyle Williams, your guy.
I know, man. He's up there in the front, man. But I think he might be the best value right here, man. I don't see anybody
doing
else.
this for Superflex. I would have took Shook. That's just me, though. And I don't believe in Shook whatsoever. This is just straight value play.
Hope he has a good week or two and then trade him.
That's what I'm hoping.
All right, there's the draft.
Yes, sir. So anything you want to say, Maximus, before we get out of here?
Like always, me and Alex are doing a show tomorrow morning. It'll be dropped on Spotify called Fantasy Blind Spot at noon tomorrow. Check that out. Be here on Thursdays with these guys, and hopefully Alex can show up one of these days, but we'll have to get on him. Terrence?
As usual, check out the channel. If you're not sub, go sub that Fantasy Network. And I'm still dropping the rookie profiles with the series badges. I'm up to episode 10 now. I just dropped your guy, Mika Ibuka. So I'm just trying to get through as many rookies before the season starts.
Yeah, guys, listen, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to this channel. This is cutting edge content. This is the Fantasy Good Hour. The Good Hour. Guys, make sure that you tune in every Thursday at 6:30. And during the season, guys, this is where you're gonna get your starts and sits. This is gonna be our starting sits show for you guys, and you're gonna get multiple opinions on that. I think this is gonna be special. So guys, be ready for the videos. The videos about to flood the market. I'm gonna be dropping videos all week, 2 or 3 of them a day. So and these guys are going to be doing also other shows with me. I'm gonna bring them up on some of my mobile live. The mobile lives hit a little bit different. 1,000 people come in there easily. So y'all be ready for that. And hey, we almost here, guys. Let's go.
Yep. Have a good night, everyone.
Yep. Peace.